The future for young people has really never been more uncertain in America. We're in an era where a lot of people just aren't able to find work, aren't able to afford housing. I've seen so many instances around this country in cities where more and more people are living off the streets, collecting cans, cardboard off the highway, just raising it up, right? Trying to get whatever they can to make ends meet. And I don't even feel like I understand why these people are doing this. I understand it completely, is what I'm trying to say. It's just like such a bad time in this country. Leadership seems off. There's so much uncertainty with technology and artificial intelligence, and these kids that are graduating right now that have to face the decision of, do I get my degree in college? Is it even worth it anymore? How do I set myself up well for the future? It has, in my opinion, never been a more difficult decision for them than it is right now. And on the flip side, we're going to talk about colleges a little bit here, but I'm going to make a full separate video about it. A lot of these colleges and universities are desperate. They're desperate for a few reasons. They're desperate because there is a demographic cliff in America. People have stopped having kids to try to save money. Think about how crazy that is for a second. There are more deaths in this country every minute than births. And the only reason the population offsets and still grows is because of immigration to the country of the United States of America. But this demographic cliff from 2008 in the late 2000s, that basically made it so there's less people that are going to college of that age group right now. But there's a plethora of colleges and universities, and a lot of them are not in the greatest of financial spots. So this causes a massive problem. This causes a massive problem because now these schools might have to get more lucrative financial aid just to bring students in. And I hate to say it, but they're essentially tricking kids. They're tricking kids to commit to a top 5 for most people, financial decision of their life for, honestly, an institution that might not even exist in 20 years. Scary. And people have every right to be asking more heavy-hitting questions to colleges and universities because the white-collar workforce is shrinking. Corporations are trying to take over and do whatever they possibly can to make profit margins skyrocket for shareholders. And what that does is really, it hurts the young people that don't have assets yet, that are trying to build, that are trying to make themselves matter from a productivity standpoint to this country that cares so much about it. And we've talked a little bit in the last couple of videos about what potentially the solution is for this. And I think the solution is trying to set yourself up with a good base. With that base, you got to build something for yourself that you actually enjoy doing. And once you have that, and it could actually pay your bills, you should double down on it once you have a good nest egg. That's the way I see it. And it's going to take some grinding. It's going to take some patience, now more than ever. But that's really the only way. Unless you get lucky and win the lottery or something, that's the only way. Because who wants to wake up and for 20, 30 years do something that they really don't care about? Like that ship has sailed, because the economic landscape of how much it costs for things has also shifted. It's a lot easier to justify a decision like that, and it was for previous generations, when you can make a fraction of what the salary is now for a year, sure, but your homes were also 10 times cheaper. Like an average worker could work at like the local hardware store full time, still have a weekend to relax, and could still support a family with children in a moderate home. That's how it used to be. That is no longer the case. The times have severely changed. And I feel like if the times have changed, we have to change too. We have to get creative. We have to think outside the box. The system, in theory, is not going to get better. And to me, it's been rigged against us. It's been rigged against us. So you need to reflect a little bit. I need to reflect a little bit and just think about what can we do despite these uncertain times, despite what we see coming in the future, to make sure we live a life that we want to live and not just exist, not just slave away for a corporation, because they don't really care about us at all. They just don't. It's a reality you got to come with. There's a few things that really matter in this world. It's how you treat people. It's how connected you are with faith. It's how you spend your time every day that you've been given to try to make this place better somehow, some way, for someone. And it's a hard reality for a lot of people as they age, from what I've experienced and talked to look back and they're like, wow, I worked this safe, cushy job for 30 years. I'm now 55, 60. I'm still working, but I don't really have a life I could be proud of. I never got to do this and this, or I never experimented to try this when I could have just bounced back and got a safe, cushy job after. But it seems like people are waking up, and it's just an opportunity for us to try to change, try to make it in this world when all hope seems to be lost. I'm not giving up hope at all. I love exploring. I love spending time with friends. I don't feel as young as I once did. I'm 26 right now. In my early 20s, I was traveling a ton. I was trying different things, bouncing around. But that life experience, I can confidently say I've seen more places and done more things than most workers will do in their entire life already. So it's something that sets me apart, and it's something that I could always look back on and be proud of, that it all works out in the end, and I've gotten to have so many wonderful experiences in life. Of course, there's a way to do it smart. I mean, young people watching this, you want to avoid debt. You want to, if you are going to get in debt, make sure it's debt that's going to eventually make you more money if you stick with something. And it's a more important time than ever to learn personal finance, because you're essentially going to be able to put yourself in a position to buy your time back and buy your life back if you do that. Especially in an era where they don't want you to have any free time. And the free time that you do have, they want you to spend it scrolling, not learning. There's a decline in people reading books. Why is that? Because they're distracted, and they're also frantically trying to survive out there. This is the vast majority of people. So what do you cut? You cut the things like reading, like maybe going to the gym. You might do convenience with DoorDash or something, right? You might do things like that to save yourself a little bit of time, a little bit of pocket of a window. And watching Netflix, and if you're spending 2-3 hours a night scrolling, I mean, that's just not gonna get you where you need to be. And if you make it, and then you eventually want to do those things in the future, I mean, that's a whole different story, right? But make sure you're working on things that you're passionate about. Make sure you're working on things that will put you in a better place moving forward. And that's what I'm trying to do each and every day. That's how I'm spending the majority of 2026. Thank you for watching.